It all started off innocently enough. My roommates and I were at Home Depot, just buying stuff for our new place. It was one of those random roommate assignments they do on college campuses, and we were all pretty happy with each other. The only one we weren't sure about was Kevin, but it was probably only because he was quiet and we hadn't gotten to know him yet. He was an electrical engineering student and was apparently really smart, so at least maybe he could help us study or something. Down one of the aisles of Home Depot, we stumbled across the infamous Buddy the Elf animatronic from this year, and oh my god, I've seen the memes and TikTok videos about it, but nothing beats seeing this thing in person. It is so creepy. It's just this massive 6.5-foot tall elf with giant wide open eyes and a fake frozen smile. I thought the thing was more funny than scary just because of how absurd it was. But when Kevin walked by, I could tell it really affected him. He literally couldn't even look at it. That's when our other roommate, Jay, got an idea. He really wanted to play a prank on Kevin with that thing. So he had me and our other roommate, Sam, distract him while he went to go buy the thing at the front of the store and bring it to our truck. Seemed like a bit of harmless fun to me, at least at first. So I agreed. Back at the house, Jay said they didn't have any of them left except for the floor model, and they wouldn't let him buy that one. But the manager did tell him there was one in store returns that had not been reshelved yet. Apparently the returner said it was still working, they just didn't want it. So luckily Jay was able to buy that one. In the first couple days, we must have scared Kevin 20 times with that thing. To be honest, it was starting to feel a little bit mean. But Jay was relentless with it. Even after the joke started getting old, he kept going. Even getting to the point where Kevin got pissed and decided to go stay at his girlfriend's place for a few days. I feel like I even saw tears in his eyes when he was walking out. At that point, the joke was definitely over for me, and I was kind of at the point where I thought we should just return the thing. The rest of the roommates really wanted to hang on to it for parties though, so I let them keep it. However, over the next few days, things started getting weird. If you don't know, the animatronic has this line it says,
"I'm Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color?"
Well, one day it just started saying that over and over, non-stop, until I unplugged it. Then later that night, we were watching TV in the living room, and a bad storm was brewing above. The power went out briefly, leaving the house in total darkness for a few minutes. I thought I heard a door open, which was kind of creepy considering I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. Then suddenly the lights came back on, and Buddy was standing right in front of the hallway entrance, staring right at us. I wasn't scared though. I was actually a little annoyed with Jay for continuing with the prank for so long. But when I confronted him, he just said he didn't do it and to stop blaming him. This really pissed me off. So I decided to just go cool down in my room for a while. Later, at around 2 a.m., I heard this distorted mumbling coming from the living room, like a deep, warbled up version of the animatronic's usual phrases. It was literally keeping me awake, so I went out into the living room, and to my surprise, none of my roommates were out there. No one except for Buddy, of course. He was standing in front of the TV, with the window wide open, and the wind blowing throughout the room, the static blasting from behind him. Horrified, I shut off the TV and closed the window, making sure Buddy was unplugged as well. Then as soon as I turned to go back to bed, the animatronic started screaming at full volume.
"I'm Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color? I'm Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color?"
It was so loud that my roommate woke up and came out into the room. We all stared in disbelief as Jay walked around to the back of the animatronic to see that his cable was completely unplugged. At that point, I think we all had had pretty much enough of this thing. We decided to toss it in the dumpster in the Walmart down the road. Jay didn't even want his money back at that point. We just wanted it out. As we picked it up to carry it out to the truck, we noticed the body felt heavier than before, like a bunch of weight had been added inside. Eventually we got him out to my truck though, and started driving him over to the Walmart. As we drove down the winding road leading there, my truck suddenly started acting up. The radio crackled with static, and a faint, distorted version of Buddy's voice echoed through the speakers.
What's your favorite color?
My hands gripped the wheel tightly. Then the truck jolted violently. It felt like something had grabbed the tires from beneath, smashing the vehicle into the guardrail. We then swerved hard and hit a tree, knocking me out. When I regained consciousness, my face was on the steering wheel, and my nose was bloody. But Jay was lying next to me, totally unconscious, with his face pretty much crushed.
Quick, call 911.
I told Sam as I got out of the car to check the damage. I discovered that Buddy was no longer in the bed of the truck, but looking around I couldn't find him anywhere. I even walked into the woods off the side of the road a little to see if he had gotten thrown in them, but he wasn't there. I thought I heard something rustling around for a second, but I didn't end up actually seeing anything. Walking back up to my truck, I noticed something weird on the bottom of it. There was some kind of metal device connected to my front axle. It looked like it had been haphazardly welded onto the car's frame, and there was some kind of small antenna coming out from it. Unable to really remove it or anything, I just got back in the truck. An ambulance and police soon arrived, and they rushed Jay to the ER, where he is still in a coma till this day. I told them about the thing attached to the axle, and they said they would look into what it was, but that it was something they had not seen before. Later that night, I was released and got dropped off at my house. As tragic as the whole thing was, I did feel a little relieved for one reason. At least that damn Buddy animatronic was gone. That night the house was quiet, no strange sounds, no mumbles. Finally, we could relax. Then at around midnight, I heard the doorbell ring. Confused, I slowly creeped up to the front door to see what it was. Once I peeked through the peephole, I couldn't believe what I saw. There, standing on the porch in the glow of our outdoor light, was Kevin. But he wasn't alone. Standing next to him was Buddy, his mouth frozen in that horrifying, permanent smile. However, Kevin's smile was even bigger and perhaps more terrifying. Then, dangling from his left hand, I saw what looked like a remote control.
Hey,
I said.
what's going on? I got ya!
He yelled as he dropped the remote on the ground and gave me the middle finger, along with another toothy smile. My stomach dropped as I put the pieces together.
Wait!
I screamed as I opened the door to try and grab him. He ran away into some nearby woods, never to be seen or heard from by any of us again. Seems that he must have dropped out of school or something, because the police were searching for him as well. Ever since that happened, I now always remember to think twice before playing jokes on people. Let's just say some of them don't take it as well as others.